Utah is overflowing with family-owned and operated restaurants, historic spaces where echoes of communities past and present are etched into the walls, infused in the countertops, and woven into the fabric of the towns they serve. Nestled between the borders of Juab and Utah counties is where our story begins. We may be showcasing burgers, onion rings, and shakes, but we're not simply talking about burger joints. We're celebrating the cornerstones of community. We start in Santaquin, a little drive-in on Main Street, the Santaquin, and just a few miles south down I-15 in the shadow of Mount Nebo sits her sister, the Nebo Queen. But don't worry, there's no sibling rivalry here. These are traditional drive-ins filled with flavor and fueled by heart. It's a story about legacy, the passion, perseverance, and generations bound together by burgers. It's a tale of two queens. This week on Taste Utah. In the town of Santaquin, a retired school teacher swapped chalkboards for cheeseburgers and created something unforgettable. Kathleen didn't just build a drive-in. She created a proving ground for teenagers, a gathering place for locals, and a beloved part of the town's identity. And now her grandson, Colby, and his wife, Amy, have taken the reins, but Kathleen still pops in, ensuring her signature touch lingers in every detail. At the Santaquin, the food is made with love, and that love spans 4 generations. I've traveled a long distance from Salt Lake City.
We're so glad you come.
And I've heard tale of the Santaquin. And are you the Santaquin, Kathleen?
I am the Santaquin.
How long ago did you start Santaquin?
It was Labor Day of 1977.
And was it always a drive-in, drive-through?
Always.
Yeah. How old were you when you started the restaurant?
I was probably in my 40s.
In your 40s?
My oldest son had just left to go on a mission for the church.
Okay.
He left to go to Australia in February. We decided we needed to subsidize our income.
Okay.
And I had the property. My husband wanted me to sell it. A realtor was pestering to buy it.
Okay.
And I said, we're going to do a fast food because there wasn't anything in Santaquin other than the family tree and bars and grocery stores.
And so you thought, well, there needs to be something a little bit more.
And I had done a little bit of waitressing for my friend that did on the family tree, but not at the family tree.
Okay.
My husband said, you don't know a thing about it. I said, I know, but we did it anyway.
But I'm going to do it. And once she makes her mind up with something, she does it.
The first day I wondered, what am I doing? The first day we were very busy, and I didn't think that we would be. I thought that, it'd just be, but it was all at once.
Yeah. Tell us what you have put on the table in front of us, will you?
The salad in front of you is
Okay.
called a crunch salad.
Ooh.
And it has deep fried chicken, lettuce, tomatoes, cheese.
And then this ranch dressing?
Homemade ranch
Homemade
dressing.
ranch,
So you're making your dressings in-house? Mm-hmm. All of them?
all of them.
Up in this spot.
Right here is a bacon crunch.
Okay.
And it's chicken, bacon, and Swiss.
Ooh. These are English chips. Some people know them as picadillies or something like
Yeah,
that.
Picadillies.
Yeah.
I noticed south of Salt Lake City, English chips, picadillies are really popular. And if you even travel like further west into even smaller towns, they're everywhere. Tell me what you have in front of you.
This is our granny, and this is one of, I think, the most popular burgers that we
popular.
have. And it's got the quarter-pound burger, and it's got ham and Swiss and American cheese.
Okay.
And then we put the pink sauce, lettuce, pickle, and tomato.
Love
it's
that.
delicious. And then we got our sweet fries, which a lot of people really like now.
And then you have to talk about these because they look like donuts, but they're not.
Those are hand-dipped onion rings. They're cut from the onions, so it's all homemade.
Yeah. You're
And-
slicing the onions in
And
back.
we're slicing the
You're
onions.
making the batter from
Making the
scratch.
batter.
And then this is what we know as a proper Utah scone. Tell us about the scone.
We make it once or twice a week,
Okay.
just as needed.
And
so
what's
it's
the
always fresh?
Always fresh. And what's the process like to make the dough? Does it leaven? Does it rise? Is it?
It has to rise twice.
Twice. So it's probably just a day process to make the dough properly, right?
Yes.
You want it to rest. You let it rise, and then you knead it again.
And then
Then you let it rise again. That
Yep.
second, yeah. I love that. And then is this just your classic honey butter?
Yeah, and that's homemade also.
Homemade. What do you love about this restaurant?
What I loved is having a place for our townspeople. Our town was small.
Yeah.
So there wasn't anywhere for the young people to work.
Yeah.
So we provided a place for employment and a place for families to bring their children.
I think that's something that's so special when you think about a town in the 70s, 80s, even 90s. The drive-in, the drive-through, shakes, fries, burgers. These are the hearts of our community. You know, it's where you come to celebrate, I don't know, a basketball game victory as a 12-year-old, or you drown your sorrows the Saturday football loss, you know, in Little League. We need these places where we can gather and be together. And it's a small space because it's meant to be. You're meant to sit next to someone at the counter that you might not know and start a conversation.
Best friends at the end.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it used to be back where we knew everyone in town.
Yeah.
You know, you come in and you know everyone, but now we don't know everyone because it's grown so much. So
Yeah.
it's just nice to get to know the customers. And I do like to cook too, and I like to make sure their food is good and it's a pleasant experience and the food is good and they want to come back.
I like it. We had ad in the paper that said, "Come in as a stranger, leave as a friend," and that's how we feel.
Yeah.
I love that. We need
It
more
is.
friends, and we need more places to connect and to make friends. No better way to make friends than over food, I feel like.
No,
Oh,
absolutely not.
Totally. I agree with you there.
And then, Kelly, how many kids do you have?
I have 4 children.
4 children.
And 11 grandchildren.
And do any of them like the restaurant industry? Are they in the biz?
Just my son.
Okay.
He worked-
Jordan worked here.
all my kids did work here when they were in high school. All of them worked here. And
All
I
my
got to-
grandchildren almost.
I gotta
Oh,
tell
wow.
Mom was amazing at teaching everyone how to work. We go out and we see people, because they're like family, all the employees that work for us,
Yeah.
and they come up and they say, I attribute, like they're managing businesses, they've done really well. I attribute that to my mom teaching them how to work.
Oh, wow.
Because she would do anything for them,
Yeah.
but she expected them to come in and work and do their job, and she taught them, and so they attribute their success to my mom teaching them how to work.
We're back in Santaquin at the Santaquin, a hometown favorite and a delicious pillar of the local food community. But don't let the word burger fool you. This menu is full of unexpected flavor. Get ready. We're about to talk about it. So this is 3 generations.
Great
Hello.
generation.
Holy.
I have a little treat for you guys.
Yay! What are you bringing us?
This is the Navajo taco that we
What?
make, the scone and the taco meat we made.
Oh, this is so good.
So it's our scone dough. I'm sure they introduced you to the recipe. So we start with that, we cook the scone, and then we take our 80-20 ground beef, mix all the seasonings up, and then we just have cheese, tomato, and lettuce on it. It's pretty good. Something,
love it.
Something
It's
different.
good.
So
How long have you worked in the restaurant?
I started here when I was 11.
11 years old.
Yep, I started dressing buns at 11.
He did.
Dressing buns,
And he
what is
worked with my
that?
brother.
So that's kind of, so we just call it, we put the sauce, the pickles, lettuce, we get it ready for the person cooking the meat. That was my
Okay,
job.
so you're
always.
prepping the
I was
buns for the... Okay.
Yep, that was mine, and then I'd usually hand it out under the light.
The Santaquin has developed into a multiple sort of operation.
Yep, so a few years after we bought this, we had the opportunity to buy the one in Nephi. So we moved that and kind of offered the same menu down there as we did
Okay.
here. Just kind of grew it a little bit. Wanted to take my grandma's, what she started, and take it to the next step. So just give a little bit more product to those people. And
That's so fun. And when you say you bought this, you bought it from Grandma?
I bought it from my grandma.
Okay. Oh, that's so great. So you keeping it in the family,
Yep.
which
Yeah.
is nice. And then you have the OG to make sure you're doing it right. You
Keeps us on our
have
toes.
Mom to come in and do some research and development if she needs to.
Yep.
Do your kids work in the restaurant?
Yep, I've got a couple kids that love to help any opportunity. I got one that's 11 and another one that's 8, and they love it. Ryder, my son, he likes to dress the buns now too, kind of when he has that opportunity. My daughter loves to help the waitress. She loves to come help grandma and help her mom in Nephi and stuff, so
That's
it's kind of fun.
So her mom is from Nephi, right?
Yep.
And you're from Santaquin?
Yep, correct. So, my wife is Amy. She's from Nephi. I grew up in Santaquin and
fell in love, and the rest is history.
That's for sure.
Now it's a tale of the two queens.
Yep.
And maybe even more. Right? Before we know, it'll be like a royal flush or something, right? I work with my mom. I'm lucky enough to. I've worked with sisters, and I love working with family. I wish that everyone could work with their family, because you get to see your mom as this incredibly capable individual that other people admire too, and then she gets to see your capabilities as well, and you lean on each other in a really special way, and then the next generation and the next generation. I think that working with family can be tricky and hard, but it's like a restaurant that can be tricky and hard, but it is so worth it.
And I think they truly understand too, like family members, they kind of understand what you're going through and how when you lean on them, they lean on you and that type of stuff. So it makes it a little lighter. They understand. They get it. They understand how the business works and how hard the work is, and they kind of bounce off each other and you can lean on each other in that aspect.
This has been such a great introduction to the Santaquin, to your incredible family story and the contributions to the restaurant industry in Utah, to our food community, and it's only growing and growing. And I would love to go down to the Nebo Queen and meet Amy and just be able to see the evolution of the family business. Thank you so much for all that you do and who you are and the ways that you have contributed to this community in Santaquin to have allowed it to evolve and grown down in Nephi. And just the gift that you've given all of us as we're driving through. We now know that we can drive to this drive-through.
For sure.
Just 40 miles down the road in Nephi, a new story started to unfold. After taking over the reins at the Santaquin in Colby's hometown of Santaquin, he and Amy took a chance on saving the local drive-in in Amy's hometown of Nephi, a special place filled with memories, including the spot where Amy's parents first met. With Kathleen's blessing, they also brought the heart and hospitality of Santaquin, along with some of the beloved recipes, and reintroduced the community to a cherished space, now known as the Nebo Queen. More than just a sister restaurant, Nebo Queen is a love letter to Nephi, a town with its own flavor, its own stories, and a whole lot of soul. Amy, it's so nice to have you sitting with us.
Yeah.
Colby sat with us up at Santaquin to share the story, and now Nebo Queen is sort of the story of the two of you.
Yes.
So the Nebo Queen, before it was the Nebo Queen, how long has this building, this sort of restaurant, been in existence?
So I remember the 50s from what my mom has told me. It started out as Picks, and then it became Bard's, and that's kind of been the really popular one that everybody loves, and it seems like everybody has worked at Bard's, and that's actually where my parents met.
So they met at the drive-in?
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's their story? Tell us, like, how did they meet? Like, I'm very curious.
So my dad's a very quiet, shy cowboy. He's super fun, but my mom was more outgoing, and she was on drill team, and so she worked here and had so much fun with all her friends, and that's kind of one of the things that we've heard from all the people that's worked at Bard's before is everybody worked here, they enjoyed it, it was fun, it was kind of the nostalgic of, working at a drive-through back in the day, and so they met here, and a year later, I believe, they were married. It's kind of fun, so we actually took it over and opened on their 45th wedding anniversary to the date.
The menu here is similar to what you'll get up at Santaquin.
Correct.
Very same.
With
yeah.
a few exceptions.
Yes, correct.
And some of those are on the table right now.
Yep.
You made them in back for us.
Yep.
Because they're kind of like your mark on the
Little
menu
bit.
a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah. Which
Yeah.
is so special.
Okay, so this one here is the pastrami burger.
Okay.
So it has the pastrami with the Swiss cheese, fry sauce. It's a pretty popular item. It's
That one's my
love it.
favorite.
That's your favorite.
That's my
Okay, so
favorite.
like hands down, that's what you get.
That's
when
my
you're-
jam.
Yeah. Okay.
I really like it with rye bread.
And then
sometimes, too.
with rye bread.
I put it on rye bread.
That sounds so good.
So that's kind of fun, is you can change the menu up a little bit. Like
You
we
can
allow
tweak it.
people to customize it, and I feel like that's the charm of your mom and pop shops too.
And then you just have a small little burger in front of you.
Yeah,
Just a
this is
tiny
just
little
our
thing,
baby
right?
one here. So this is the one that is unique to Nephi.
Yeah.
So when we were on social media and was taking over, everybody reached out to us and said, "Oh, you've got to bring back the old mountain burger." There
Okay.
is a little bit of debate around if we're making this the right way.
Okay.
But we took a poll, and this is the general consensus of how it's supposed to be made. So
Okay.
it has ketchup and mustard. It's a super triple. So it's 3/4 of a pound.
From the build, it's 3 patties
Yep.
Yes.
with cheese.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, and then what layered
Pickled
on?
lettuce and tomato, ketchup and mustard, and onion, and a lot of love.
And then this looks like the scone that your grandma was talking about.
Yep.
Yep.
Just like the one at Santaquin.
And my mom actually makes the scone dough fresh. So
That's so cool.
She makes it every day for us, and then she's funny. She's particular about it, so
Well,
and we
and-
appreciate that.
It's so special. Like here is like what is one of the most special things about this space. Grandma's recipe, your grandma's recipe.
Yeah.
Your mom is making the dough in the space that she met your dad in.
Yeah, for
it
sure.
really is like the best part of two small towns coming together to create big business.
Yeah.
You know, in a really heartfelt way.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm just gonna keep eating. Tell me what
Yeah.
else is on.
It's
this
so
dish.
good. So then it comes with 3 chicken strips,
Okay.
and then 2 onion rings, and then a boatload of fries.
And then just a little dish of ice cream.
Just a little
Yep.
one.
Yeah.
So this is our banana split.
Ooh.
Has 3 different flavors of ice cream. You can pick up to 3 different flavors of topping,
Okay.
nuts.
Again, totally
Yep.
customizable. Like
Yep, for sure.
that's the
You
fun
can
of it.
make it how you want
However
it.
you want it.
And these are a lot of fun to make. So people to see their ideas and their creativity
Yeah.
is awesome.
This is how it was, and we want to try to keep that as long as we can. And because a lot of the mom and pop shops, they're drying up in Utah.
Yeah. And
They're
like
drying up.
you heard from my grandma, this also, the menu got her through a lot of tough times. I
Yeah.
mean, that's one of the things that's kind of I stick to, and it's hard to change because I seen it through those hard times. She's
Yeah.
able to roll through and battle through it because of that option, the variety, and all the different things she's able to do with it.
What still appeals to you about it? I mean, I know why I love Utah food. I know why I think you all are so special. But what's so special about it for you?
One of the things I love is the pace. I love a fast pace. I love to see how perfect I can make it in a short period of time.
It's a lot of work.
Yes.
It's hard work, and you can choose
hard.
to do anything.
Yep.
So you're going into business, and you're like, well, what am I going to do? I want to feed people. I want to create community. I want to create an environment of service and care.
Yep.
There's just more to it. There's more
Yep.
heart.
That's kind of what speaks to me on it. There was something about the charm of how his mom and his grandma and his aunt ran the business that it just was like, I don't know, I admired his grandma so much because as you talk to her, like you've heard her story,
Yeah.
she kind of stood up and did her thing in a time period when it was hard for women to do that. And she
100%.
just did it. And I mean, bless your grandpa's soul, like he was like, why are you doing this? This is my favorite story of Kathleen she says, I think I'm going to open a drive-in. And he was like, you have no experience with that. And she was like, but I want to. You know, she started this thing and it carried on. And so when we got married, I was like, dude, the Santaquin is so fun. Like, I love it. I think this is so fun. And I was like, what's the next step for it? Like, Grandma is getting to the time of retirement. And he's like, I don't think anybody wants to go down that path. And I was like, are you serious? And so I don't know if I talked him into it or what, but when she turned 80, she was like, I'm done. So she handed over the spatula when she turned 80.
That's so cute.
And yeah, we took it over and we haven't looked back since. Sometimes we scratched our head and thought, why did we do this? And if I said I've never sat in the walk-in and cried and drank a lot of Dr. Pepper,
You gotta drown your sorrows sometimes.
I would be lying because it's been hard. I think any small business owner can relate, especially in small towns.
Well, and when you take over a beloved property,
Absolutely.
like just people love this space. It means so much
100%.
to them. It means so much to you.
Yes.
And you want to preserve the space and the community. The menu is important too, don't
Absolutely.
get me wrong. But what it means to
And the
your
community.
family and
Exactly.
to people, you
Yep.
want to do your best to preserve that. You're also honoring the location because Nebo
Right?
is the mountain, right?
Yeah.
For people who drive past Nephi and have
Yeah.
no idea what Nebo is, and
For sure.
don't maybe
We get that
outdoor
question a
adventure.
lot.
Yeah.
We get that question a lot.
Mount Nebo, and it is such a big part of the community as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I will say, I think it's tricky to take over any kind of legacy restaurant.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's also tricky to maintain a legacy restaurant.
Yeah.
So
A lot of
what
pressure.
you're doing here is beyond extraordinary. You've maintained a legacy restaurant your family has up in Santaquin for so long. You have taken an existing legacy restaurant that was going to go away
Yeah,
if you
it was.
didn't do
Yep,
something
exactly.
and say,
Yeah, it was
no, we'll
gone.
do it. We'll marry the two
Yep.
in a way that creates stability,
Yep.
but also that creates a space where you can come enjoy nostalgia. You can feel how much love and care you're putting into it in a place that honestly feels so inclusive and so good. Every time I come here, I feel so grateful that you're here.
Awesome.
And
Well, we
I know
appreciate
it's a
that.
lot of work, and I
It
know
is.
it's hard. But man, I hope it feels worth it because you are just doing such great work here and in the Santaquin as well. And it's just really such a pleasure to be able to sit and see where you're evolving, but also to honor all of the giants that have made it
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah,
Awesome. We
our
appreciate
motto, we love to say this, it's to create an experience felt, remembered, and shared. And so we love that. We think
Yeah.
about it, we love it.